Today, I just kind of wanted to touch on the topic of leadership and some of the things that I'm personally seeing across the board. Well, I won't say across the board, but across the social media landscape. And I think that, A, I'm critical of leadership because somebody needs to be. And if you are in a position of leadership and you are not accepting of criticism, then you're not a leader. You just have a following. See, I look at a leader as somebody that understands that they too are flawed. I look at someone that I won't say invites criticism, but doesn't scorn you for it, depending on the delivery of that criticism. Because there's some people out there that's just hating just to hate. I'm gonna be honest about it. We all know that. But there's some people that genuinely are concerned with a particular person, their viewpoint on something, and it's counter to what that particular person believes, and they get angry, and they discourage discourse, and I don't get that. If somebody comes to you from a point of humility and just simply not agreeing with you, that should be okay. Maybe that's your opportunity to show your leadership in teaching that person from your standpoint. And there's a possibility that you are in fact wrong. Accountability is so rare in leadership that it's frightening. I think that especially with this COVID, I've heard a lot of people say just tell they viewers, listeners, or whatever, unequivocally don't go to the hospital. That just does not make sense to me. What if they have a stroke? What if they have a heart attack? What if, I mean, God forbid, there's a plethora of other things that could occur outside of the coronavirus. And are you telling me that those people should not go get checked out? You'd rather see our people die unequivocally than to at least have a chance. And as somebody that has worked in a hospital for a decade, is it perfect? No. But some of the shit y'all been saying is disingenuous and inflammatory at best. As somebody who I've literally worked on people or been the nurse of people that are openly disparaging of not just myself but the profession, I still do my job. But it's some folks out here trying to make it seem like it's some across the board healthcare scheme. Like, I didn't get invited to that. I can only speak from my personal experience in being in the healthcare profession for 30 years. Is it flawed? Absolutely. But I don't believe that en masse hospitals across the country are intentionally killing us en masse. I'm not saying it's never occurred. We're fully aware of some of the historical things that have happened to us in this country. I don't need to revisit that. But again, having actually worked in a hospital before and actually been privy to some pretty interesting conversations by some high level people. Um, just dumb luck. But it is, you have to experience it. And I think some of the leaders out here are doing what they tell people not to do. They are responding on emotion and or greed. Because there are some people that have talked about the COVID-19 virus more than CNN. And I'm not sure that's possible. I mean, like, I didn't think that was possible. But are you doing it to actually help people? Are you doing it to build your numbers? Or increase the numbers that you already have? What solutions are you offering? That's leadership. Anybody can Google some shit and tear something down. Anybody. Leadership is offering a different path. Leadership is realizing the power that you possess. And you'll have people, oh man, it's just Twitter. You got 25,000 followers though. Some of those people are vested in you whether you believe it or not. You know, you have some people with a particular delivery, and that same person will get upset when someone returns that delivery. Be fair. It's one thing people remember, especially about leadership, is if they were fair. They may not appreciate or understand every rule or decision or video or statement that you make. But if you are fair, they will respect you so much more. There's a lot of folks that turn into bullies. It's like Dr. Umar has had a bigger effect on the community than I think I had ever even considered before. Because I think his approach and some of his tactics have shown other people that's how you build your brand. And I'm not saying that brother has not dropped gems. He has. I'm not trying to be disparaging to the man. I am not. But let's be honest. Is that leadership? Some of the things he's done? And if you know me, I rarely ever mention someone's name. That's just facts. But would you consider him a leader? And to be fair, to practice what I'm preaching, I've done a lot of dumb shit over the years. I've never tried to put myself in a position of leadership though. I never wanted to, never sought it out. It's not my thing. And I think that he has put himself in a position of leadership. He's got a big following. It's a lot of people that unequivocally fuck with that cat. I'm not mad at them at all. But there's got to be a way to say to the people that you admire, reel it back in just a little bit, King. That should not be. Now, you don't have to, be super public with it if not necessary. If you have a way to go behind the scenes and let them know, do that, please. you know. But we have to do a better job of recognizing leadership in our 5 year olds and cultivating that leadership. We have to do a better job with our accountability. And we got to do a better job of knowing that being right doesn't make it righteous. I say that all the time. Like you may, and let me go back to the COVID thing for a second too. You may actually be spitting facts with respect to some of the things that you're saying about the COVID. But is this the time for that? Because no matter what you think, say, or do, it is a problem. May not be as big as they saying. I don't know. I'm not judging that aspect of it. But what I am saying is, yes, you may be right about situation A being something the government created to infect black folks. You may be right. But how's that helping black folks today? Like, we need to get through this and then we can go back and revisit that other shit. I'm just saying, like, timing is everything. And you can deny it all you want because there's some folks that just don't believe it. Okay. You'll find out one of these days. You really will. Um, and our community, this could be a good way for us to unify. It really would. Um, and I think that if I had my druthers, so to speak, um, I would arrange a meeting with most of the leaders. There's a few that, and when I say leadership, I'm looking at people that have like kind of openly sought out a particular path where they can give advice, where people listen to them, kind of follow, their ideology. Um, but if we could get them in one room and just agree on three things, and all of them push those three things just for a month, just to see what happens with black folks. That's power right there. And we seem to have forgotten what I thought was the one goal that we all shared, and that's improving black folks in this country. I'm not sure, to be quite honest, if there's going to ever be a solution to that one. I used to be the most optimistic when it comes to our people. But over the last 5 years, man, I have seen and witnessed and heard just so many things, man. It's just disheartening. And I can see why a lot of people quit trying. I do. But that's another thing about leadership, if we want to go back to that. You have to know when you need a break. It is extremely difficult. I know it is for you to be working a 9 to 5, and then you got people calling you, requesting this and requesting that, and they don't necessarily respect your time. A lot of people pulling you in a lot of different directions. I'm not saying it's easy. I can only imagine. But some choices should be easy. If you love black people, and not just the black people that agree with you, but black people, please, A, offer solutions. I'm sorry, A, offer solutions, and B, down the rhetoric just a smidge, fam. You may be right, but is it righteous? Is it something we need to really hear now? And another thing, before I go, another thing that people don't realize that are in leadership positions, there are some people out there whose heart is just pure gold. They believe everything they tell people. They live what they are saying, and they live and die for what they believe in. There are people like that. The problem with some of them is that they don't realize that their followers may outlive them significantly. And when you are kind of molding your followers, they get used to a certain ideology. Well, someone else whose heart is not pure gold may come along after you're gone and use that same ideology, use your formula without the heart of gold. You setting up people to follow and not just follow you on social media, but follow, not question, not think for themselves. You're critical of the system because everybody's a sheep, but in actuality, you're not mad that they're sheep. You're mad that you aren't the herder. Being right doesn't make it righteous. Anyway, man, this is Jobs. Don't forget to check out the show this week. What is that? May 8th, we got the water cooler jumping off. Oh, man. Wealthy Hall is going to be joining the family. Shout out to you, Queen. Shout out to the plug. Saturday, we got the Conscious Olympics jumping off at 5 p.m. If you want to win $50, all you got to do is answer some trivia questions. And we're giving away $25 to the first person to get 5 participants in the Zoom meeting. And then we got a tarot card reading at 3 o'clock on Saturday. And that is going to be so dope, man. I'm looking forward to that with Renee K all day. And that's 3 p.m. And I forgot to tell you, my bad, but the Conscious Olympics, and let me make sure I got this right, is being sponsored this week by us, we, ours. Shout out to Queen Ianifa and her family. We definitely appreciate it. And the love is real. They're absolutely good people. Anyway, man, y'all have a good one. This is Jobs from My Skin Is My Sin Radio, and I'm out.